They mocked him. But he owned everything. He always disappeared right after work. He never joined team dinners. He never stayed for happy hour. He never socialized. People thought he was strange. Maybe he just likes being alone, they told themselves. But still, there was always something off. Then one day, someone finally found out where he went after work. His mom cleans this building, so he goes to help her. It didn't take long for that news to spread around the office. People started whispering. On the surface, they acted normal. But deep down, the line had already been drawn. Oh, so that's why he never spent money and always kept to himself. Kind of embarrassing, don't you think? No wonder he avoided us. Yeah, but at least he could have tried to fit in better. He said nothing. He still left work quietly, just as he always did. Nothing had changed, except the way people looked at him. An invisible barrier now stood between him and his coworkers. A few days later, the company made a big announcement. The building's owner was coming in for an important meeting. People were curious. Who was this owner? What kind of person were they? As they entered the conference room, they froze. Sitting at the head of the table was his mother. Silence filled the room. Some employees stiffened in their seats. Others exchanged nervous glances. And in that moment, they realized the woman he had been helping every night, the woman they had judged, dismissed, and whispered about, was the owner of the very building they worked in. An awkward pause. Then finally someone hesitantly spoke. "We had no idea your mother owned this building. If only we had known sooner." He slowly stood up, glancing around the room. Then with a small, knowing smile, he said, "And if you had known, would it have changed anything?" Silence. No one dared to answer. No one wanted to say the wrong thing. Then he chuckled. He looked around at the same coworkers who had whispered behind his back just days ago. And with a smirk, he leaned forward slightly and said, "Well then, I guess you should all be a little more careful in this building from now on." The room fell dead silent, and in that moment, it became very, very clear who actually held the power in that office. If you were in his shoes, what would you have done?